The last time I left you, the secret bathroom looked a bit like this. It's got a nice toilet, a little sink to wash your hands in, and even a little set of cupboards. So naturally, I'm going to start today's episode by ripping it all out. You're probably wondering why I would do such a thing. Well, we've got a little bit more work to do. I mean, I thought the bathroom looked great, but apparently it needs paint, trim, some paneling, and a few other bits fixed up as well. So that's what we're going to be working on today. And honestly, all that stuff is just easier if all the toilet and sink is out of the way. Let me explain what I'm up to. I've taken all the toilet out and the sink, which might seem a lot, but it's just easier to do the paneling, and then we're going to paint anyway, and it just seems like a lot of like edging stuff, which honestly, my worst nightmare. I can't be bothered. So I'd rather just take it out and then put it back another day once it's all finished. It also means less likely because stuff's going to get bashed as well from moving panels around and working with glue and stuff. So at the moment, I've just pulled out the laser because it's just the easiest way to do this. Let me show you what the laser does. So that'll give us a perfectly level line all the way around the room, which will just give us a nice marking point for the top of the paneling. It doesn't matter too much, it doesn't have to be super accurate, it'll just make life easier in the long run, and I had it, so I might as well use the laser. You can just do it with a pencil and tape measure, that'll be absolutely fine. And in fact, I'm just going to get a pencil out and mark around it anyway, because if I leave the laser out, I've got to worry about running out of battery, it's going to get in the way, but it just makes it easier to mark up. So there's a couple of things going to happen. So one is I've left about a 44mm gap at the top. That's going to give us space to run a dado rail, and that's going to finish it off nicely without me having to worry about getting a real clean edge. And also it's going to give us a kind of pretty finish and transition from the paneling. There is one problem area you can see. So this bit here, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but this is our little escape the toilet button. The door works on a magnet that's wired up to the light switch. So there's no handle on the door to get out. As soon as you pull it shut, it doesn't move, and this little switch here lets you out. So I need to move it up a few inches because the data rail is going to run right through it, which I think will just be a horrible detail. Today I'm just going to take it out and disconnect it. Although if I do that, I need to turn off the magnetic door, otherwise people are going to get stuck in the toilet. Shut the sheriff. Yeah, we can go back up there. Get out of the way. Whoop. Whoop. There you go. Cheap and chirpy. Right, there you go. 50 minutes that took, so not too bad. Quite easy because I took the toilet out, so there wasn't loads of intricate details. I did mess something up there, and the astute ones of you will have noticed that while I did measure up beforehand to avoid having these silly little slithers on either side, I didn't take into account for actually just sucking up maths. So now I've got two 10mm gaps I've got to try and fill with a little slither of material. I stopped recording last night because it got past midnight and it was just too dark outside to really record anything. Let me show you what I got up to last night. That sounds weird. Anyway. As you can see, all the paneling is done. All the way around. All four sides. There we go. Turn back up, not falling over. There we go. All the fiddly bits are done, and I did get a bit of caulking done last night as well. So this seam down here is closed up nicely. A few bits of skirting board or baseboard for the Americans on the bottom here. There we go. So obviously all the loo needs to go back in, and also the sink. Bit of caulking to put around the bottom down here. As for the sink and the toilet, I'll put those back in afterwards. There's no sense doing that now when I'm going to end up painting anyway, so much less likely things are going to get damaged if I do it afterwards. There we go, all looking smart. This piece of trim here is just a bit of a sample trim that I popped on. It's just held on by a couple of quick nails. I just want to see what it looked like with a dado rail, and actually it looks quite smart. And I think once it's all in and painted, it'll look really good. So we'll have to show you some of the sample colours we've got kicking around. We'll do that a bit later on, maybe next week's video. Windowsill, this MDF windowsill, I came to the conclusion that it is not staying. I've got leftover granite outside, so if I show you this, if we go outside, next to all the kids' toys in our outdoor loo, I've got some of this granite here and another great big slab here. Well, actually, with a little bit of cleaning up, I think that'll make a much nicer windowsill. It'll probably fit in a bit better with the rest of the bathroom. I probably should explain what I'm up to here. There's a large gap where the tiles don't quite meet up with the wall, so I'm just filling that with some cement I had in the garden. Ultimately, I'm going to install some skirting on here anyway. So, imagine this is skirting. It's going to go, that's going to cover up to about there. The only thing that's going to be visible is that little bit there, and that little bit there. That's it for today. Thank you very much for following along. Next week we're going to be doing paint and wallpaper, so stick around for that. And finally, thank you all those people who have commented, liked or subscribed. It really helps us as a brand new channel, especially when we put so much work into these. We really appreciate all your feedback and support, so thank you very much. See you all next week.